question a lot of times: is CELPIP easier or is IELTS? Short answer, CELPIP, generally from scores from what people have seen and how they have scored. Now we're going to talk about practice material because it's not very easy to find that for CELPIP. We're going to talk about all the modules and break it down exactly why my answer is that CELPIP is easier. Okay, first of all, when you're looking to do IELTS or CELPIP, first thing you look for is materials. For IELTS, you have plenty of materials online, a lot of free resources. We also offer an IELTS course that you can check out on our website. That is more detailed, it's more challenging, it has a lot of class videos and resources that you do not find online. So you can check out that course. With CELPIP, there are just a couple of free tests online that give you the real exam experience. However, if you go with our HZad Education CELPIP 15-hour course, you get 15 hours of videos, lectures, link is in the description. It provides you all the secrets, everything you need to do, even self-evaluation criteria, plus real-life mock tests. So you can check that out in the description. There's a promotion running right now, so you can avail that. Once you go to the website, you will see the promotion. Okay, so with CELPIP, you can get our help, and that will get the problem of the material availability resolved, and you will be able to prepare nicely. But why go for CELPIP when there is that problem about less materials available? Well, simply because it's easy. It's an easier exam. Generally, across the board, we have seen people who fail IELTS and then they go to CELPIP, they pass. Mostly, there are some people who go from CELPIP and they go to IELTS. They don't have that much of a success rate. Now, if we're talking about specific modules, let's talk about reading. The difficulty level in reading in IELTS and CELPIP is the same, the difficulty level, that is. But in IELTS, what used to happen was you look at the keywords in the questions, you go to the passage, you find those words out, and you can put the answer. Now, it's a little more challenging because keywords are highly paraphrased, so it's not very easy to find answers. You have to read the whole thing, and the passages are just the same length. They're very long. I don't think IELTS has adapted to the new difficulty level, because when it was a long passage, the justification was, well, you read a keyword, you can find it and then get the answer. You don't need to read the entire thing. Nowadays, it feels like you do need to read the entire thing and long passages because IELTS is getting more and more difficult. In CELPIP, that accommodation has been made. You do need to read everything in CELPIP too, and I don't mean you need to read one whole passage first and then go to the questions one by one. You can read one question and one part of the passage one at a time. And we have a detailed video on CELPIP reading. You can check it out here, HZad Education CELPIP reading. But the thing is, in CELPIP, the passages are small, or the parts that you have to read to get the answer are small. They're not as lengthy as IELTS. So that makes it slightly easier, even if you have to read and understand the details. CELPIP also has a component of interpretation in reading, which is you need to see the mood of the people who are being discussed in the passage. Are they in agreement? Are they fighting? What is their reaction, etc.? IELTS doesn't have that. IELTS is more like an encyclopedia. So here's the passage. Give us these answers. Does the author say this? Does the author say that? It's not about are they feeling happy, satisfied, whatever. So CELPIP has that component. It doesn't mean it's harder, it's just a different thing. When it comes to listening, CELPIP listening is a little different in terms of the tasks you're given. You're given a video in one part where you have to look at people and observe them, because the questions would be who said what? What did the guy in the yellow shirt say? So you have to have a little bit of visual needs as well. And in the other parts, it's not just monologues, it's dialogues too. But the CELPIP listening parts are shorter than IELTS. The other thing is you have to be an expert in note-taking in CELPIP. So the questions are not shown to you when you are doing the exam. The audio is only played and you have to take notes. Later, using your notes, you have to answer the questions after the audio is finished. So if you're not good in taking notes, not good in writing down things, maybe this exam will be hard for you in terms of listening. IELTS may be easier because you have the questions in front of you, but the challenge there is you listen to the audio and you look at the questions at the same time. It is multitasking. In CELPIP, the multitasking is you listen and you take notes. So in both exams, you have multitasking. Hence, the difficulty level is the same in both exams when it comes to listening, okay? Just a different format. Let's talk about writing and speaking. That's where the major differences are. Writing in IELTS is a nightmare. It is long, it's too many words, and there are many, many templates for IELTS writing task 1 and task 2. If you're doing academic writing, I feel bad for you because they have 6 templates in academic and 7 in task 2. In general, you have only 2 templates in task 1 at least. So you have to learn a lot of things in IELTS, and even then you will fail in the writing because it's a very hard criteria. Most people get stuck at 6.5 bands for years in IELTS writing. That issue is not in CELPIP. CELPIP writing is easier. It's only under 200 words. It's only 2 tasks. Only 3 different types of templates that we teach in HZad Education CELPIP course. Once again, link is in the description. And it's lenient marking. People mostly do get more than 8, so 8 or 9. 9 is, of course, a tough one, but much easier than a 7 band in IELTS. But when it comes to speaking, you have a problem in CELPIP. In speaking, you have multiple questions, 8 different types of questions, and you're talking to a computer, which can be a little awkward. In IELTS, you talk to an examiner, a real person face to face. But that also is a problem because a lot of people get nervous in front of a real person. With a computer, they're okay talking to a computer. In CELPIP, though, you're marked on a lot of different things. You're marked not only on the vocabulary, grammar, your English language usage, you're also marked on your tone, your emphasis, your voice fluctuation, your appropriateness of language that you're using. Is it conducive to the setting that you're talking in? And is it robotic or is it emphasized? Those things are not marked in IELTS. In IELTS, it's mainly answering the question to the point and getting your marks for how complex it is or your English language usage, grammar, and those things. IELTS marking in speaking is also lenient. Most people don't have an issue getting a 7 even if they're at the intermediate level. But they do have that issue in getting a 9 in CELPIP speaking, and a lot of people get stuck at 7 or 8 in CELPIP speaking. But it's the same thing. Both exams have their problems. However, the challenges in CELPIP mostly are some things that people can overcome. In IELTS, they get stuck there for a long time. Now, again, on this channel, you have lots of resources for free. At the same time, you have our blog, which has free resources on CELPIP. So please study them and get used to the format, get used to the things that make the examiner happy, because at the end, both exams are marked not by a computer, but by a person. So there are criteria that you need to hit to get there. In our course, though, in the CELPIP course, whatever you have on YouTube and our blog, it's a lot more detailed in the course, a lot of different secret complex strategies, and the real techniques that make examiners happy are mentioned in this course. So check it out, it's in the description. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk very soon. Take care.